used to seeing alcohol like this. But now let's take a look at it like this. Ethanol. This is what makes a drink alcoholic. When swallowed, it goes down into your stomach and digestive tract. The digestive tract absorbs the nutrients from what you just ate or drank. When something is absorbed, it goes into the bloodstream, which will transport it all over your body, including your brain. This all happens within minutes. With alcohol present, the activity of GABA receptors increases. This means it inhibits a signal more often and longer than it normally would. This happens all over the brain. When a prolonged depressant effect happens in the following areas of the brain, the result is clearly expressed as a change in behavior. The cerebral cortex is associated with thinking, decision-making, emotions, and the 5 senses. The hippocampus controls memory. The medulla is responsible for involuntary processes such as breathing and body temperature. And the cerebellum coordinates your voluntary movements such as walking and picking up objects. Research shows a link between alcohol and aggression and the roles that the chemicals serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine might play. We know dopamine to be involved in the reason people become addicted to alcohol. Dopamine is found in the mesolimbic reward pathway in the ventral striatum. When you do things that are necessary for survival, such as eating food, drinking water, and having sex, it courses around this circuit of interconnected neurons in the brain, making you feel good. You are subconsciously rewarded for doing that action. Unfortunately, ethanol drives dopamine to make you feel extra good for drinking alcohol. To better understand the brain's reward system, consider this. When you give your body food or water, your brain rewards you with a feeling of satisfaction. This encourages you to repeat the action, making your brain and whole body happy. When you start giving your body alcohol, your brain rewards you with a more sizable feeling of satisfaction. This encourages you to drink more and continue the euphoric feeling. But alcohol is different from food or water. The brain actually becomes desensitized to alcohol the more you drink it. This means that drinking the amount of alcohol that made you feel great in the past doesn't make you feel nearly as good, so you drink more. With more and more alcohol present in the system, the damage goes beyond the brain. Exposure to alcohol will cause damage to the esophagus, as well as the stomach, liver, and kidneys.
Alcohol enters the body and ends up in the stomach, at which point about 20% is absorbed immediately, and the other 80% is absorbed in the small intestine. The heart then pumps the absorbed alcohol to every part of the body, including the central nervous system, which consists of the brain and spinal cord, and it gets to the brain really fast. So that's why even after just one drink you can feel lightheaded or relaxed. Alcohol acts primarily on the nerve cells within the brain and interferes with communication between nerve cells and all other cells, slowing everything down. And that's why when we drink even a little, we experience the effects of alcohol on our emotions, judgment, balance, memory, speech, and anger levels, just to name a few. Did you know that your brain is still developing until you're around 20 to 25? So we need to be really careful because alcohol can do some irreversible damage to various parts of our brains. For example, drinking affects the cerebral cortex, which controls our senses, and inhibitory centers, which is why when you drink, you become more talkative, more self-confident, and less socially inhibited. It also controls our thought processes, so alcohol affects our ability to make good judgment or think clearly. The brain's frontal lobes are important for planning, forming ideas, making decisions, and using self-control. So when alcohol affects the frontal lobes of the brain, you may find it hard to control emotions and urges, and you may act without thinking, and even sometimes become violent or act completely out of character. Does this sound familiar? The cerebellum is important for coordination, thinking, and being aware. So again, you may have trouble with these skills when alcohol affects the cerebellum. That's why people affected by alcohol sometimes can't walk properly or lose their balance and fall. The hippocampus is the part of the brain where memories are made. So when alcohol reaches the hippocampus, you may have trouble remembering something you just heard, or even worse, have a blackout and not be able to remember what you did last night. If alcohol damages the hippocampus, you may find it hard to learn or remember things in the future. The hypothalamus is a small part of the brain that does an amazing number of the body's housekeeping chores. After a person drinks alcohol, blood pressure, hunger, thirst, and the urge to urinate increases, while body temperature and heart rate decreases. And finally, the medulla controls the body's automatic actions, such as your heartbeat. It also keeps the body at the right temperature. Because alcohol chills the body, drinking a lot of alcohol outdoors in cold weather can cause a person's body temperature to fall below normal. This dangerous condition is called hypothermia. Your body belongs to you. Get the facts. Alcohol is unsafe for the developing brain. Alcohol can damage your brain forever. The long-term functioning and health of your brain depends on the choices you make today. Your responsible attitude toward alcohol can have a positive influence on your friends and family. Your body belongs to you. Take care of it. It's the only one you have.